And glad to have you on, man, for the Put On show, man. This been anticipated. This been anticipated, man. We've been talking about doing this for a little while, and man, I'm glad to have you on, man. Can you start off with just telling the people your name,
Montana Fitzpatrick.
man? And man, I appreciate you for coming on again. I've been watching your journey for a little while. We met last year. You actually purchased my book. I appreciate you for that. And man, so what is it that you do?
I'm a speaker. I'm a motivational influencer, mentor, and an author.
So what got you into doing all that?
What got me into it was my kids. Being incarcerated, going to get out and change the narrative of my life. So I started the process of doing that, mentoring young kids, and then it grew on from there.
Man, man, that's amazing. So as far as the speaking, what year did you start doing that?
It's been 10 years now, so 2010.
You remember your first speaking event?
Yeah, it was at School 56. Yeah, I was nervous.
The
Yeah, because I didn't see myself being a speaker. My guy just told me, "Hey, come tell your story to these kids at school because they troubled teens, and I want you to speak to them." I said, "Man, I'm not no speaker."
third.
So I
What,
went, I loved it. So and it's good for
what
me.
built your confidence within it?
Knowing that the kids I was speaking to, I was one of those kids before, and
Mm.
just seeing the impact I had on them made me want to go harder at doing what I was doing.
What's one of your favorite moments as far as like one of the kids saying something to you?
My famous moment was one of the kids that graduated from high school that was on actually a different path. And because he graduated high school, that he made sure that I was there at his graduation, and he actually spoke at his graduation and shouted me out for me helping him change his life around.
Man, that's amazing, man. Just as a black man, you from Indianapolis?
Yes, born and raised.
Man, as a black man, how it feel just getting to the level that you've got to, like
Uh,
as of right now? Because I'm gonna let you. My apologies. Yeah,
no, go ahead.
so, because I do want you to talk about your book as well, but how do it feel as a black man, becoming a speaker, influencing a young youth, me, and inspired me? How I feel?
It felt good. One thing about this interview is that I like is what I'm doing right now with you is that this is the only interview Indianapolis is going to get, and I told you that because what God has put in my life right now, He's got me on a different level. So I've been doing this for 12 years, and I wanted to pay homage to the young folks that's coming up, which is you. I've been following your path for a long time as well. So my last interview in Indy, 'cause I've been on TV so much, I
Mm.
want to give that bless you with that because this is an exclusive what I got going on in my life. And I want to make sure that you be the one to put that out there, to expose that light what I have going on in my world.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Because as a young black man in Indianapolis, Indiana, we need black men like you that's inspired, coming out with books. I do want you to tap in and tell us about your book too. So
Uh,
you got two, right?
yes, I just released one. It's called Evolving Into Your Purpose.
Can you show us that one?
Yeah, this is Evolving Into Your Purpose. Basically, this is about, it's a guide on how to evolve into your purpose. Everybody has a destination in life. Sometimes they need a toolkit to help them, motivate them, and push them to that. So I break down 8 chapters of how to evolve into your purpose. So to motivate the next person to evolve.
So what was your motivation outside of your kids?
My motivation was being a black man that could change the narrative. I always wanted to change the narrative of what people see in black men. So that always has been my goal in life. So everything I do has got to be something that's changing the narrative. So that's why I created the Evolve Into Your Purpose. My purpose was something else. I evolved to what I'm doing right now because, like I said, my mission wasn't to do anything I'm doing right now at all.
Mm.
Now, I evolved into this by the steps that I took and networking with people and just traveling state to state, speaking to different people. And I evolved into this purpose, what I'm doing right now.
Mm. So before this, what did you thought your purpose was? And how do a person find their purpose?
Uh, some That's a good question you asked that because evolving to your purpose is actually a catapult to what my next book is coming out in February, which is called My Breakdown Was My Breakthrough.
Ooh.
That's how you evolve into your purpose. God got to break you down where you can find your breakthrough.
Mm.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
gem. You got to go a
Yeah.
little deeper into that.
Yeah.
What was the situation that made you?
The situation was what's going on in my world right now.
Okay.
So I'll give you a little insight of it, and we'll say the next for the next interview.
Absolutely.
But my breakdown was my breakthrough coming from me 4 months ago. I woke up one day and I was sick. I couldn't feel my feet. I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't walk.
Mm.
So for the first month, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was broken down. When you've been used to being a provider man for your family,
Mm.
you're prideful to ask for help.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So when the process of that, I couldn't walk. I had to crawl around the house. I had to use wheelchairs. I had to have my wife help me get dressed, like all that. And I was wondering why God put me in a situation. I had so much going on in the community, in my family, and just traveling, seeing the world, and things like that. And I realized God broke me down. And during that breakdown, through 4 months, I realized a lot of things with my own world. That my breakdown was my breakthrough, because now, me going through that, I went through them 4 months. Not been able to walk, use my hands, or none of that. I just started walking last week.
Wow.
So that was my breakthrough.
Mm.
My breakthrough was God showed me that I have a different calling. Now, the different calling is with my next speaking event, which is a huge event. I'll be opening up for Steve Harvey. So I'll be speaking. So my breakthrough was that I realized is my next mission in life right now is to study ministry, to be studying being a pastor.
Wow. So I had a couple questions. You said all that because one of my questions is, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I've been asking a lot of black men that I've seen go through a lot of things. How do you stay sane?
How do I stay sane? My main reason to stay sane is taking time out to myself. That was the whole thing about my breakdown, because I never had time for myself. I was too busy being a husband, being a father, being a mentor, helping people, because I have a program inside of prisons to help people come home early from prison that was wrongfully convicted and got too much time, nonviolent offenders. So me doing everything else and I focus on myself made me realize now, since I was sitting still, my insanity is to start doing some R&R on myself, relaxation, knowing who I am as a person, building that character, reading more books, just getting a peace of mind, being stable, being humble to myself, and actually speaking to God more, understanding life more, and just basically taking that time to myself and shut everything up.
Yeah. So you feel like that time that you had sitting, was that the time that you was writing the second book?
Yes.
What was the name of that book again?
My breakdown was my breakthrough. Yeah.
Goodness. So with that time sitting, you had a lot to think about. And what's some of the books that you read during that time?
Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X. I actually read your book. I still read your book, even though I read it the first day. Sometimes you have to go back and you see some things you didn't realize. So I can get a book and I'll read it like 4, 5, 6 times. And be like, dang, I didn't realize that, because every book has its own purpose at a point in time in your life. So when I read your book, that helped me out too during my journey, and I also read some other Black authors' books here in our city, and just piece them together. It's like I say Black author books it's like a Bible. And like a pastor reads a Bible, he don't just get the word from just one Bible. He has several different Bibles he reads to create that word. And that's what I do with my books I get from Black men. I bring them together, and that's how I evolve to a lot of things that I'm doing, because I can piece those things together, and then it takes a different part of my life.
Absolutely. So with your book, evolving into your purpose, I want to know, what's your favorite chapter, and then also I want to know, how do you feel like that book could help someone else?
Actually, I like all the chapters. Let me see. The main one I can say probably my best chapter would be the nurturing relationships.
Nurturing relationships.
Yeah. That'd probably be the main one right there.
Why is that?
Because it teaches you how to build relationships. Just not with relationship wise, with business wise. You also building a relationship with yourself, or with others, and just building those relationships and nurturing, and how to love and how to hold on to what's real, and how communication plays a very big factor in those relationships, nurturing those relationships.
What's some ways you feel like people can benefit just from reading your book? I know you said a few earlier.
Right. My book, this Evolving to Your Purpose, is beneficial because, like I said, sometimes people go through things and they just don't know how to use what they got going on in their life to evolve. Sometimes you just need something to motivate you and push you. This book is for motivational purposes only, to push that narrative for you, because some people just don't know what they want to do in life. And I feel like this is a guidebook to how to evolve into your purpose. And once you go through the chapters, the 8 chapters, by the time you get to the 8th chapter, you should be able to evolve into your purpose and know exactly what you want to do after you finish reading my book.
So I got a question for you that's outside of that, because as you was talking, I was thinking about this just myself. What if a person already has that motivation, but they feel like it's kind of hard to continue to move forward because they don't see a shore? So it's like a man out in the ocean. He don't see no shore, so he feel like, why should I continue to keep swimming or keep trying? My arms getting tired, legs getting tired.
And that's where it comes to dropping down and really submitting to God and praying, because God at the end of the day, no man can show you what God can. So that comes from prayer, fasting, and let God show you. Because at the end of the day, we can motivate many people as you can, but nobody. The biggest motivator is God, and that's comes from turning your phone off, fasting, really sitting down praying, and let God show you which way to go. Because He will show you. The faith is bigger than anything. So having that faith base with God and communicating with God to guide you to your purpose, that's where it's going to start at first.
Definitely. I got just another question I have too. These are just two personal questions.
Nah, you
I'm being a little greedy.
You go.
Nah, so I've been asking a few people, how do you know when to pivot or to stay patient?
Good one. Good one, yeah. None of us staying patient is when you know how you want something so bad. I use this for example when I'm mentoring. So in life, you have to be willing to plant a seed to where God wants you to grow. In order for you to plant that seed, it comes back to fasting again. Being patient is when you're moving too fast. You know when you're moving too fast, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to stop because you just feel like you're in that zone.
Yeah.
And you just got to be here, be there. No, sometimes you got to pause, be patient, take a step back. Because everything's not meant for you to go and grab a hold of. Some things that you grab sometimes when you're reaching for that things on the shelf and then you get higher and higher things on the shelf, you gotta get to the point where you gotta make an extra step to grab that what's on that shelf like that. Sometimes you gotta pivot, take a step back, and just wait for things on the shelf. Because some things on the shelf can fall over before you even touch them, and that'd be where you're missing out on life.
Man, because I'm in a position right now where, like you were saying, I'm really ready to stop, but everything keep trying to pull me forward.
Right.
And I'm ready to take my hiatus because I know, like you were saying, sit down, or God, He gonna sit you.
Yeah. And that's what happened to me because I was moving so fast, was doing so much. Yeah, I never took time out for myself. And I hear it all the time. Everybody's around me. Man, you need to slow down, man. You're doing too much. You here, you there. You're out of state. You're out of town. You're doing this. You're doing that. You want to be still. But in my mind, like, man, if I'm sitting still, I feel like I'm failing. That's how I always felt because that's why I said in the beginning, only a providing man will feel like a failure because he used to providing and doing things, and I was on go because he is the head of that castle, the head of his life. You know what I'm saying? It's God, him, then wherever else he's going in this world. Mm-hmm. So he's constantly is moving around. But sometimes God will sit you still for a reason.
How important is rest to you now?
Very important. I done turned out, like I said, I done turned out a lot of interviews. Like I said, like the news has been reaching out to me about a lot of things going on in the community with gun violence and things like that. And so I didn't turn them down because, like I said, God has put me in a situation now to where He has something else for me to do. I'm going to stick to that plan He has for me. God is actually planning me where He needs me to grow. So I'm going to let Him water me from there.
Okay. Are you still in the schools?
No, not no more. I let that go. Yeah. I let the schools, the prisons, I let everything go. Yeah. Yeah. So now I'm just working on my books and I'm just traveling. I'm about to start back traveling again, speaking.
Some places you want to go?
I want to go to LA. I never been there. I want to go there and speak. I want to go there. I want to go to Phoenix. I have a situation down there in Phoenix. I want to reach out and do some things. So I got a lot of things on my radar that I want to do.
Is this something as far as being an author, when it came to you, what were your thoughts?
My first book, which I didn't publish it, but it was called Crossroads to Redemption. That's what my first book was called, and I just gave it out for free. I was emailing to people, stuff like that. It basically was my story before I went to prison and what I was going through during prison and when I got out of prison and things I was doing for like that. That's why it's called Crossroads to Redemption. So when I did that, I realized I had a gift with writing, and I never realized it just comes now, and I'm like, where is this coming from? That's how I realized like I have a gift. This is from God. So it's just a journey of everything, man, and willing to endure and love what you're doing.
Who was somebody that inspired you? Just during your journey.
My father. He passed away 2 years ago.
Some things that made him inspire you?
What inspired me was he seen it in me that I didn't see in myself. My father kept telling me I was gonna be doing this and doing that. I'm like, well, I had a different mindset, and I'm like, man, you just talking. I don't know what you're talking about. He was in the church. He was a deacon. So this is how I know that God spoke to me during the 4 months I was down and I couldn't walk. So before my father passed away, he gave me this Bible, right? And me not being in church like that, whatever, I just put the Bible down on the table for decoration on my stand. So one day, I I get different messages from different pastors every morning, motivational things. And I was just so drained and so tired. I usually look on my phone and look at it, right? So on that day, I said, man, this is too much to read. I'm just going to get the Bible. So when I got the Bible, it's this big old, thick, huge Bible. I'm like, man, what kind of Bible is this? So I finally opened it. I'm looking at the Bible. And after every sentence, it explained what I was reading. And I was like, what kind of Bible is this? And I opened it. I looked at the front of the Bible. It's actually a Bible that the pastors get going to study doctrine to be a pastor. Mm. And he had messages in there for me. Because when I got the Bible before he passed away, he said, you're going to need this. It's going to come in handy one day. And during that time I'm sitting down, I'm like, this is my Father talking to me. Like, all the signs are there, what it's leading up to me do right now in my life the whole time I'm sitting down. And that's why I created my next book called My Breakdown is My Breakthrough. Because God broke me down to realize what my breakthrough would be through him.
And hey, having your father, how you feel like that affected you just in general? Because a lot of black men, was he in your life?
And that's the thing I was about to say next. It affected me because my father wasn't in my life. And when I finally did get close to him, he passed away. And I feel like I got cheated out of a father because my father had another marriage and he had kids. So they got to experience all that from him. So I cherished the moments we did have together because I didn't focus on him not being there. I focused on what he was doing there that day, every day. So I felt cheated out of a father. But at the same time, he installed something into me and left something behind for me that actually helped me get to where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm. So the whole time you've been talking with your story, I've been hearing you say like you didn't think that you would be. Why is that?
What I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
Because I come from a life where all I knew I do was sell dope. Mm. That's all I knew. I come from a neighborhood everybody knew who I was. All I knew I do was sell dope.
Could the environment you was in?
Because the environment I was in. That's all I knew. That's all I knew was street stuff. All I knew was in and out of prison, things like that, and having multiple women, things like that. So that's all I knew.
What was the turning point?
My turning point was my son. He was probably like about 6 months. Every time he come to see me, he would do something different. And one last time he came to see me, he started doing this little jerking thing and whatever he's doing, and it made me realize I missed out on my son's life. Mm. So on that day, I took everybody off my visiting list. I didn't see nobody. I made my bed, I laid in it, and realized when I get out, I'll never go back again. And that was 22 years ago. I'm never going back again. So I changed the narrative of my life and made sure that my sons didn't get to see what they hear about because they still was young. They didn't know what I was doing. So I had to change the narrative of my life to show them something different.
Mm. So with the people that's watching this right now, and they haven't got to that turning point, what advice would you give to them?
The advice I was giving them first is seek God. That's the main thing. Seek God all through things through Christ as possible. The second thing, get around more like-minded people like yourself. Those who are investing to you, those who will praise you, those who will motivate you, because that's going to be a very key part in your life. It's most definitely going to be a key part in life. And the thing I realized about life is we are so comfortable with the people we've been around our whole life. Sometimes those people we've been around our whole life are the ones that's blocking us from being where we need to be in life. Mm. So we got to be willing to let go. Some people are afraid to let go of the things around them because they're so comfortable. Instead of jumping outside the box and being around those that we look at and be like lame. My word lame, I made it an acronym, which is letting anyone miserable evacuate my life. Mm. That's what lame means to me. That's why I tell the kids what lame stands for now. And that's what we got to do too as adults. Letting anyone miserable evacuate your life.
I mean, what would you say for the people that's introverts though? That just
yeah, I think that. I
know. You gotta do it. Huh?
Yeah, hey, like I said, man, that's what evolving into your purpose. I mean, at the end of the day, man, we all here on borrowed time in life. We know what we want, and sometimes it scares us because we scared to take that extra step. But how bad do you want
it? Was that something that was scary to you?
They were scared to me because I was in a lane I didn't know nothing about. But once I realized that lane, I would start going for a throttle with it. I'm like, you know what? I've been missing out. I've been cheating myself. Mm. Once you realize you start cheating yourself and you know your worth, it's all uphill from there because you know what you want. And you ain't gonna let nothing block you. You ain't gonna let nothing get in your way from doing that. And I lost a lot of people behind what I'm doing right now. And that's because that's the thing. People have to realize when people fold on you, that's still part of the plan. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's still God's plan. It's still part of the plan. So don't be bitter, don't be mad, don't be angry with people who fold on you. It's okay. That's part of the plan because that's still a seed jumping into your soil to be watered and grow from there.
Right about that. So With landing my plane, I got one more question. I'm gonna let you point out everything to let people know where to get your books.
Okay.
And this is a question I want to know. Throughout your whole journey, has it been some times that you cried?
Yeah, most definitely. It has. It has.
What did you learn from the situations when you did cry?
What I learned was that I'm human, because we got this persona that men not supposed to cry.
Right.
Men not supposed to open up.
Yeah.
I'm here to say this now. Open up. Let it out. It's okay. And what I learned from those experiences is that I learned that I'm human. That's the main thing. I'm human. I'm okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to open up. It's okay to be emotional as a man, because that's what builds your character.
How did you learn how to open up, though?
Open up, like I said, that comes from being around people who really want to see you win. Those who really invest into you, those who are really around you and understand your journey. Because it's going to take people that's been around you that seen your journey and really know your journey to understand you. Because a stranger is not going to understand it, because they just see someone they just met and like, they might be tripping, or I don't know if I could take this pressure on. So you got to find at least two people that actually really want your best interest at heart and know your journey, because that's how you're going to be able to open up and build that character within yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I needed all that. I was a little selfish in this therapy session for me. But man, letting my plane, man, I appreciate you for coming on. I do want you to shout out your books and your book and everything else that you got going on so that people can tap in. This ain't gonna be our last one. We're gonna do another one that's gonna go way more in depth within your story. So y'all gonna have to tap in for that one. But yeah, go ahead and plug in your book and let them know where they can get it.
Yeah, this is Evolving to Your Purpose. You can catch it on Amazon. It's on there, and it's on Kindle as well. My next book is called My Breakdown Was My Breakthrough. That'll be out 2/24/24, Black History Month. Also, you can catch me February in Atlanta, Georgia. I was nominated for 3 different awards, and at the Re-Up Experience Awards, which is a big, huge event in Atlanta they have for a lot of people. So I'll be there as well, and that'll be live too as well. Besides that, you can catch me on all platforms at Montana Fitzpatrick. And God bless you, and just let's keep it going.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Black Man, for coming on. Lead the people with a gem, just a gem.
Okay, that's for me, yo, man. I would say, in order to evolve, plant the seed where you want it to be and let it be watered, but let it be watered through God. I can say that because you water things through God, that's when it's going to flourish the right way. You're going to have, if you do it the wrong way, you go have thorns and stems sticking out from others that's not part of the plan. And that's where you get confused. But at the end of the day, water your soil with the right seeds.
That's right. I appreciate you.